I read very limitedly. I read contemporary, romance, and poetry collections typically. And I don't really leave that. Sometimes I read some YA thriller type things, but that's relatively new. So I'm going to start a series, and that series was originally just going to be a really long video, but my phone can't handle editing that. Neither can I. So we're going to break it up into a few parts. In this series, I'm going to read a variety of genres that I do not normally read from, including horror, historical fiction, sci-fi, thrillers, and some more that I'll come across along the way. And I am going to try to broaden my reading tastes. Now, do I think reading an individual book from each of these genres is going to help that? Absolutely not. But a few of these books, one in particular is like a very famous book, one I've tried to read, one I enjoyed trying to read, but had to return to my middle school library before I moved to high school. So we paused that one for a while, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But we're going to start things off nice and easy with the horror category. So my experience with horror, with like true, really like horror, I've really only read one, and that is Come Closer by Sarah Gran, and I read that for Whatever-a-thon, which was 2 months ago now, I guess. However, I have read some like books with some horror elements. The Initial Insult comes to mind, but I haven't really read true horror. Now, there's reasons for this. From my traumatic experiences in high school, there's a video about it if you'd like to watch it, but I get very vivid, very triggering and traumatic nightmares, so I try not to read anything that's too it's not even the gore part, it depends on the subject matter, but anything that's too dark, if I'm already not in the best mental place, can kind of trigger the back of the brain, you know? So I don't read it for that reason. I'm also just generally like, I'm not super interested. I mean, I've definitely gone through like my phases where I watch a lot of horror movies and stuff and things like that. However, I've never really had that particular interest, and like my TBR has always been so long that with just like contemporary books that I haven't really gotten around to it. That being said, because of that, I don't actually own any horror, but after watching Books and Lala's Summerween vlogs, I really want to try out an Eric Larocca, and I thought, well, obviously the ones to go with is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. It's short, it's mixed media. What could go wrong? Last summer I was actually really interested in reading this, but then people were like, do not read this if you are not in a good mental place. And I was like, I'm not in a good mental place, so I didn't read it. I would say I'm in a okay to good mental place right now, so we're gonna try it. Disclaimer, obviously if I get like majorly triggered by something or something really bugs me and I DNF it, like I'll just let you guys know I DNF'd it, but I'm not gonna like go into detail because A, spoilers, and B, like my personal life. But yeah, this is going to be an experience. And today, for Spoopathon, which I am not taking part in, just because I didn't realize what it was until like yesterday, and then I couldn't be bothered. Anyway, there's sprints today, starting in like half an hour, and I'm hoping that through all of the sprints I can finish this entire thing. And that would be great, because I need content for tomorrow. But I also have a few different books on the go, so if I get too creeped out, I'll, shift or do whatever. I read the Come Closer book very, very fast. I found it quite readable and whatnot. So we will see how this goes. Yeah. 41 pages into this, and it is not as I expected it, currently, with what is just beginning to go on. Also, it's a little confusing if you go into this with no information, because you're like, what? Huh? And they're like, oh. About, like, the author's note and stuff, and you're like, oh, it's, like, that's a really weird way to do that. I've never seen a book do that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting so far. The instant messaging sections go by really, really fast. So yeah, I imagine I'll probably finish this today. Going well so far. I was not expecting this. Not expecting it. Had I read the back, I would have been, but this is gonna be a weird book, isn't it? So I'm at page 83. Yeah. And my question is, how does one come up with that? That's all. Like, wow. Oh, like I'm creeped. I'm creeped. Was like gagging. Was not. That was intense, man. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm gonna finish it. Like I'm reading it very fast. Like it's attention is mine is on the book. I don't like how does someone in their brain come up with that? Like wow. But like the writing of this book, like I think like technically this book is amazing. I'm royally creeped out, but it's not in like a, like when I think of horror things, I think of like, ooh, who's gonna be around the corner, right? That sort of thing. But I'm not creeped out in that way. Like I'm not feeling like anxiety. I just feel unnerved, I guess, is the best way to put it. Oh. I literally texted my partner. I was like at the 40-page mark, I'm like, this isn't going how I expected it to. And I just texted him and I was like, this is very not okay. But yeah, so I'll probably finish it in the next sprint. I'm doing sprints with Christy and Maddie at the moment. Wow, that's all I have to say. I don't want to read what I'm about to read. Oh my gosh. That's gross. That's very disgusting. Anyway, that's all. So I finished it. Not horror in the way I was expecting. It was very gross, especially towards the end, as seen in my last clip. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5 because I think like the writing and whatnot and the actual writing, there you go, Emma, and like the format and stuff deserves a 4, but I think the story I would give it a 3. So I think we're going with a 3.5. How does one describe this? So basically, this woman starts by selling something on a queer forum, and the lady who contacts her, they are emailing back and forth, and then they start on instant messenger and they start a relationship, and the relationship is not healthy, to say the least. Yeah. So am I creeped out? No. Am I grossed out? Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. definitely. Definitely like a lot of like physical body stuff, and I didn't love that. I mean, for the purpose of the story, like it was good. I don't think it's my thing. But overall, I would say this foray into a different genre went well, I suppose. I really don't know. I think I would consider picking up another novella from him. But yeah. Overall, once again, I think it went well. I think, like, obviously I could pick up another horror novella. I think thrillers are what horror should be, and horror is what thrillers should be, because I feel like horror should really creep you out, and I didn't feel creeped out. I just felt like uncomfy, and whatnot. So anyway, but we will see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can check out the rest of my videos. I will be doing at least 3 or 4 more of these style of videos where I read a book from a genre I don't normally read from. Probably won't do them all in the same day. This is only 100 pages, so, and there's sprints going on. But anywho, if you'd like to see other things other than my video content, you can check out my first poetry collection, which is linked below. It's now available as an ebook for $0 if you have Kindle Unlimited, or $1.29 Canadian, and also in a paperback as always for $10 Canadian. Also linked below is the Goodreads page for my first collection, and if you want to shelve that, even if you can't read at this current moment, that would also be awesome for me. And if you'd like to see more on like the writing side of me, you can check out my author page, which is linked below. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. Bye.